everybody, it's Jenny here, and I'm so excited to announce that I got my real estate license. So, I'm a realtor here in Connecticut, and I'm working with Century 21 All Points, and I'm so excited, so I wanted to share this video with you. So, I'm going to talk about how to pass the real estate exam. So, today is December 5th. I passed it in September. So here I am right after I passed the test. I am so excited. I just came out of the testing center and I got my real estate license. I passed the test. I'm so excited. So as you can tell, I was so excited. I passed on my first try, and you can see how satisfied I was because I worked really hard studying. So first things first, in the state of Connecticut, for the test, there are two parts. Now, for the general portion, there are 80 questions. For the state portion, there's 30 questions, so for a total of 110. You get 2 hours for the general and 45 minutes for the state portion. Now, for me, the 2 hours for the general portion was way more than enough time. I finished that pretty early, but the state portion, I felt like that was a good amount of time. Now, one thing that I was a little upset about was I'm doing the general portion and there's 80 questions. Okay, so I got to number 79, and once I hit 80, I was just about to hit submit. And I was so excited. I'm like, okay, did I pass this part? I wanted to know my score if I passed that portion. So then I hit submit, and what does it do? It goes right into the state portion. I was like, are you kidding me? I wanted to know my score so that I know I'm not wasting my time, you know, doing the state portion. I just wanted to know what the score was because you have to get 70% in order to pass. So I had to wait till I was done with the state part, but that's okay. When I finished the 30 questions for the state part, I saw right away that I passed both portions and I was so excited. So, I want to give you some tips on what you can do to help you pass your test. So, if you're brand new to real estate, just like I was, what I did before my courses even started, I went to the library and I looked around some books to see if there was anything about real estate. Of course there were. I took this book out. I'll write it down here because I can't think of it. It was Barron's Real Estate. I forgot what it was called. So I studied each chapter before my courses even began because I didn't know anything. So getting to know the verbiage and everything, at least it wasn't brand new to me when I went into my classes. Because, you know, it can be overwhelming and it's easy to just fall behind or feel like, oh, this is too much. I want to give up. But that means you don't really want it then. So I really tried by studying ahead of time, which really helped me, I feel like, because I wouldn't have understood half the things that were in those books if I didn't get that book ahead of time. So that's one little tip that you can do. So I know for me, one of the toughest things was math. I always hated math. So for some of the class, I was just behind on math. I didn't understand it. But one day the instructor gave us this take-home math test, and in the middle of it, I was taking forever with this thing, by the way, and then just in the middle of it, during one problem, it just hit me, and I figured it out. I was so happy. There is math on the test. Well, for me there was. Every test is different. I know they have multiple tests so that not everybody's taking the same thing, so you can't cheat, but I definitely had math. I had math on the general portion and the state portion. Know how to do your math. And definitely townships, I know one of the hardest chapters there are for some people is land description. Meets and bounds, rectangular survey. I would definitely recommend learning it. I know it's hard, but know how to measure a township and the sections. Get to know that chapter well, because I definitely had some questions. So, but like I said, you know, every test is different. So you might not, but it's good to know it. One thing I did was skip the hard questions. If you don't know it right away, save it to the end. You have that option. It lets you skip it, and then in the end, you'll have all the questions that you skipped previously. And it'll help you go faster and save you time, because you don't want to be stuck on a problem. Let's say it's a math problem and it's only question 25. You don't want to spend 20 minutes on the question and then you run out of time for everything else. So it's better to just leave those at the end, and that way you'll know somewhat how many you might get wrong, and you need a 70% to pass. So one thing that people say is to only study 40 minutes at a time. So like study once a day, but only 40 minutes, because after that maybe you won't absorb the information as well as you would. With me, I didn't really follow that. I studied longer, but I felt like I had to because I was brand new. So I really wanted to stick to it. When I was in one section, if I'm not done yet, I didn't want to stop. I just wanted to keep going. But that's just because I was excited about it. So while you're studying, one thing that I like to do was take notes. Some people I noticed in my class, we had our textbooks out during class, and what they were doing was highlighting information in their textbook. But what I did was write down the notes and new things that I learned, because if I'm highlighting, I'm not really paying attention. If I write something down, I'm more likely to remember it. So maybe that would be helpful for you. Everybody's different. When I was studying, I was trying so hard to remember definitions, you know, word for word, just trying to memorize the definitions. It's not so much memorizing it, you actually have to understand it. Most of my questions were situational questions. It wasn't like, what is the definition of blank? You actually have to know what to do in whatever situation and know the terms. So one thing I would recommend is scheduling your exam as soon as possible after you're done with your classes, because you know the information is still fresh in your mind and you'll still have time to study, because when you send in a request, you don't get it right away. But I wouldn't wait too long, because next thing you know, you're gonna say, oh, I'll take it next month. Oh, I'll take it next month. I need to study more. I would just recommend doing it quickly so that the information is still in your mind. When I was in class, the instructor handed us a packet of information, and it explained, like I just showed you, how many questions, how long you have for the exam. And we also got an outline. So we got a general portion outline and also a state content outline. So it outlined the main topics that were going to be on the test. If you get an outline in your class of the test, definitely study that. Know what's going to be on the test, because if it's on the outline, it's probably going to be on the test. So besides getting a good night's sleep and a nice good breakfast on the day of the test, one of the most important things is your mindset. You have to be positive. You have to walk in there with confidence. I got this. I'm gonna pass. Because if you walk in there and you're thinking that you're gonna fail, what's gonna happen? You're probably gonna fail. So you wanna walk in there with confidence, know your stuff, and know that you can pass on the first try. You got this. So for those of you out there that are gonna take your exam, good luck and you'll pass. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and there will definitely be more to come on Real Estate with Jenny. Thanks for watching.